Okay, so the first thing I'll do is I'll explain the buttons. Well, actually, I guess, yeah, I'll explain the buttons first. So, the buttons are referred to as ABCD, just like Blade Blue Type 2 layout. So, or it's basically melty, yeah? So, it's ABC is the top row, and then D is the bottom left. So, ABC is punches, and then light kick, short, is D. So, if you press A, okay, if you press A, you'll get a beam rifle. You should get a good sense of like how much, not recovery. Actually, yeah, recovery, yeah. Well, not recovery, cause see, like I can actually move. If you hold left, right, you'll walk. You can like shoot these beams, while you're walking. And notice that I'm still walking. So, it's not necessarily halting me, right? But at the same time, I can't rapidly shoot it, right? So although I'm still maintaining neutral in terms of movement while pressing A, I can't actually rapidly press it, right? No matter how fast you mash, this is about the speed at which you can press it. So there is a minimum, like, repeat value. You just can't press A more than X amount of times while just moving around like a walk, okay? So that's your basic beam rifle. It's good. It takes 3 shots to stun. So 1, 2, 3. That's your basic beam. I'll explain how to do that later. Your B button is your melee, okay? So if you press it, well, you pull your sword out if you don't have it out, yeah? But if you're in green lock, see how you have a target and it's green? If it's a green lock, you'll wave it like this, and you'll just kind of do a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of different normals. So there's 5B, 6B, or 4B. It's basically side B. Alright, there's neutral B, side B, up B, and forward B, which for you is a grappling hook, which is really cool. Now, if you go in red lock, you'll see that when you press B, you actually fly at them. And then only at the end of your dash does your attack come out. And if you press it and you meet your opponent in mid-dash, your attack will immediately come at them. Yeah, so at point blank, it looks just like a normal swing. Farther away, it comes out. I'll go over the basics of melees later, but know that you basically have very mashable combos. So you know, B B B is like B B B. Yeah, and you get some little fancy thing. So I'll explain I'll explain more about melees later. But all you need to know is that A is rifle, B is melee, which becomes a dash attack in red lock, and C is jump. So if you hold C, it'll jump like this. Now you notice that there's a bar on the bottom called boost. And as you jump, boost goes down. And as you stop jumping, boost no longer goes down and neither goes up. It stays still. You'll notice that only when you touch the ground and kind of make your knees shake a bit can you get your boost back. Alright, so jumping is holding down C and you can jump. If you jump all the way up, right, if you use all of your boost, you go into what's called overheat. It flashes red. When you're in overheat, you suffer much more of a landing penalty. So the basics of this game is that everybody has to eventually touch the ground. You can't just fly around forever, you eventually have to land. And when you land, there's a period of time in which you're vulnerable, you cannot block or do anything for a given amount of frames, because you're busy refilling your boost screen, you know? This is pretty central to all the fundamentals of the game. So holding C makes you jump. If you double tap C, you'll do a boost dash, is what we call it. Yeah. If you point the lever in any direction, so I'm holding left and then double tap C, you boost. If you hold down the lever, you'll see that you just boost forever. Yeah. So I'm holding down 4 like the whole time, and then just going left. Similarly, even if you let go of the lever, if you hold C, so if you do C once and then rapidly press the second C but hold the second C, you'll also get this kind of dash. Yeah, so I'm doing C, held C, and I get this boost. Now, there are some benefits to holding down the C, but generally as practice, you want to get used to not getting that held extension, because if you get it when you don't want it, it's really bad, because generally, especially when you're beginning, it's really good to practice doing successive boosts, right? for dodging and stuff. Being able to control your movement, basically. Yeah, we can get into more Phoenix about boost dashing later. But for now, you should get used to double tapping C like this. Now, the special property. Well, actually, I'll go over the fourth button before we go any further than that. Yeah. But if you press D, you switch cameras. So I kill the guy, so I can only be on this guy. But yeah, D just switches cameras. Yeah, it's a basic button. It's really important, obviously. Switches your target. So you're always locked onto someone. You can't not be locked onto anyone at any given time, aside from when you kill both people. You always have a target. You notice that there's a little radar, okay, around them, and it's either green or red or yellow. Yeah. So it's distance based. Each suit has a different distance of where they enter red lock. So yours is here, Infinite Justice. So at this distance, basically everything is good. At green distance, your offensive ability goes down. The reason behind this, the main one, we already discussed one, right? The fact that your homing attacks, your melees become homing attacks, right? In green lock, they just kind of like go around. Yeah. So distance is important. The other big advantage of being in red, for the most part, is something called guidance. Guidance basically lets your attacks home in. Now these computers don't move, so you can't tell the difference between here and here. But if I shoot it in green lock, the beams literally go straight, right? They'll go, they'll go wherever they are. So if I fire it from here, it will hit this guy. However, if he's moving, right? If Unicorn's moving even slightly, it will continue going in the path, the vector that you chose when you fired it. That is not the case in red lock, however. In red lock, moves actually, the beams actually curve, even straight shots. Yeah. So it's actually hard to demonstrate without actually making these CPUs move around. But these beams will actually curve in red. Not too much, but a little bit. Enough that if the Unicorn is just walking at this speed, the beam will actually curve. Yeah, it actually bends as they're moving. Not in reaction to, but as they're moving. So guidance is really important. Yeah. So that's the difference between red and green. While we're at it, I'll explain some of the UI features, yeah? So on the bottom left is your health. You have 620 health. On the bottom right are your weapon ammo slots. We'll go over your moveset after I explain the HUD. On the bottom right is your ammo. So if I use a bunch of ammo up, you'll see that the blue bar, it goes red when you're at 0, and there's a little blue bar under the number that goes up. Yeah. That is your ammo. It recharges over time. So basically, we call these beam type weapons. They're constantly refilling, right? So if I go down to 4, it goes back up to 5 very quickly. Yeah. So these are quite convenient. There are other types of weapons that only refill when you go to 0 and refill all of them at the same time. These are much easier to think about because they build up over time. Yeah. Of course, the weakness to beam type weapons is that if you run out, it's very hard to get back to a high number. So in terms of management with beam type weapons, you want to basically try and keep a constant, try and manage them at a constant rate, not try and like blow all your meter in one go and then be at 0 and just be like, oh, now I can't do anything. Yeah. On the top right is your radar. It shows your team in blue and your opponents in red. It points towards what each person's targeting. So we can see that my partner is targeting nobody. That's really weird. Oh, no. It's actually the face. Sorry, not target. The face. So I'm facing left, I'm facing forward. It's not who's targeting who. So you can see that this red guy is pointing that way. It shows on the screen. Yeah, so the radar is good for showing positions relative to partners and enemies. It's just good in general. Yeah, it's like the mini-map of StarCraft. Secondly, you'll see that there's some yellow arrow on the up top of the screen on my screen. Yeah, for you it's probably different. This is like Counter-Strike or other games where not only does it show you what's being shot at you, but it actually designates who's targeting you. So here it shows me that Unicorn is targeting me, because the up one means that someone in front of me is targeting me. If I look at Unicorn, see that now the other Unicorn who's targeting me, I get a yellow arrow on the bottom. Those arrows flash red when you are being fired at. It has nothing to do with projectile itself. When there is an attack done by anything that is attacking you, it will flash red. So even if it's not actually directed, even if it's not a beam, say it's, like if I do this, for instance, right? Clearly this is not going to actually reach him, but on his screen it's flashing red when I do this. Same with like if I do this, I think. Actually, I don't know if it counts for bands, it probably does. But for sure, like any kind of like beam, like see that, it's not going to hit him, but on his screen, his arrow's flashing red. Yeah, so it flashes red when things are shot at you, regardless of whether they'll actually be in dangerous spacing for you. It's quite a useful mechanic, especially for people you're not looking at. I'm not looking at Unicorn behind me, but I can tell if he actually attacked me when it will happen. Okay, so those are the basic HUD options. On the top left, you have your cost value, the HP bar. I'll go over that in a bit. But the basic premise is that each team has 6,000 points of health, and when you die, you take away your health value from the pool. So your Infinite Justice's suit has 2,500 HP, or 2,500 cost, sorry. And so if you die 3 times, that will use up well more than 6,000 points, and your team will lose. Unicorn has 3,000 cost, so if you kill Unicorn twice, you win, because 6,000 minus 3,000 minus 3,000 is 0. On the top right, that's now currently infinite is time. Yeah. So when time goes down, time's over. You don't have to think about it too much because usually games end before time is over. So that's the basic HUD. The last thing is on the bottom left, next in between your health and your boost is something called EX. On my screen, it's flashing pink and it's almost full. So this is called your extreme bar. It's new to this version of the game and it's really, really important. It's basically X Factor. You enter the mode by pressing A, B, C at the same time. You'll see a little cutscene like this. That's mandatory. Everybody sees that cutscene. So everybody, whoever you are, sees like that zoom in of Infinite Justice. Yeah. While in this mode, you look the same. You basically get X Factor level 1, basically. Your damage goes up by 20%. You take 5% less damage. Or sorry, 20% less damage. You boost and ammo refill. Yeah, so how long does it take to build up meter? Okay, a lot. Okay, so I'll demonstrate that later. But the basics are that it refills your boost, your ammo, gives you damage up, makes you take reduced damage, and increases your speed. Yeah, so your boost actions actually go faster. In addition, your boost consumption efficiency goes up. So most suits get an extra boost. So for instance, Infinite Justice can boost, I believe, 6 times. We'll find out right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay. Oh, was that 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, you can get 7 max, I guess. But it's really hard. Well, whatever. Anyways, around 6. I'm going to basically say 6. I think it's technically 6, because 7 means you can't do anything during 7. So, you basically get 6 boost dash. In extreme mode, you basically get 7, yeah? So you're a little bit, you basically get more movement options before you have to touch the ground. You move faster. You do a little bit more damage, take a little bit less damage, refill your boost, and reload your ammo. Those last 2 are the most important, yeah? So, those last 2, refilling your boost and refilling your ammo, are the most important, and we'll go over why later. But just know that those are the 2 most important. Now, you get these properties regardless of how much extreme meter you have. You cannot activate extreme mode until you have at least 50. Okay, so see here that my extreme bar is at like 10%. It goes up when I deal damage, take damage, my opponents die, my allies die, or I die. That's really important, okay? So it's actually important to know that you build it when you do those things, because that influences how you build meter. Building meter is pretty important in this game. But you can think of it as, because the game is over when you and your partner have in total died a fixed number of times, you thus are limited by how much extreme meter you can gain overall, right? Because though you do get meter when you do damage, right? Unlike a fighting game, you don't gain meter on block. You do, but very little. You do, but very little, very minuscule amount, right? It's very, very negligible. So for the point I'm about to make, it really doesn't matter. Which is, right? You have to think that because the damage, because your meter gain is basically connected to how much damage you do, right? There's a limited amount of it. You can't basically build infinite meter, because by the time you do enough damage to build that much meter, they would have lost already. Similarly, you can't build enough, you can't build infinite meter from taking damage, because you'll have lost, right? So each suit, based on its cost, right, has a limit to how many times they can extreme activate. That's very important. Anyways, so you're limited. It's not, the point is, it's not an infinite resource. It's actually a limited resource, and because it's a limited resource, it's kind of what is important. Because it's limited, it is really deeply connected to all of the strategic decision making in this game. Now I'm about to hit 50, so I'll go ahead and build 50. This is a really shitty combo, but whatever. Yeah, there we go. So as soon as I hit 50, I start flashing pig. Yeah. So we call this a half activation. A half activation is defined as any activation that's not a full activation. So no matter how much more meter I have, I should really stop doing this shitty combo. Oh, whoops. So no matter how much meter I build, this is still half activation. Yeah. A full activation is when you get 100%. Now the difference between when you actually activate, so the difference between activating now, right when I got 50, is actually in only one sense, which is that when you activate, it goes down. The value goes down, like, it drains basically, yeah, just like X Factor or whatever. So the more meter I build, the longer it'll actually go when I activate, all the way up to full. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and go up to full, just so you can see what that looks like. Whoa! Yeah. So now I'm at full. It actually flashes, says full on the bottom left. You can actually see it says full. So in full, you get the exact same benefits as half. The only difference, aside from increased time during the drain, is you can defensive burst like in Guilty Gear. Yeah, you can press ABC while in hit stun, and you'll actually flip out and do. You won't knock them out. You actually don't do any kind of like knockback. What happens is you recover from where you were with a limited amount of invincibility. I can't show you it because these guys are set on stop. But the only difference with full burst is that you can use it defensively. If you use it defensively, you also immediately lose 30% of your bar, which I can't show you also because if you do it offensively, we call this an offensive burst, you also get the little cool portrait. You'll see that it drains slowly over time. So because of that, because of the fact that the most important, see how you can actually tell I move a lot faster in this. Yeah. Because the best benefits, regaining your boost bar, regaining your ammo, because you get them no matter what level of half burst you're at, it's generally recommended that you half burst most of the time. We'll go over why full bursting and why defensive bursting isn't actually that good for now, but just try and keep in mind that half bursting as early as possible is generally good because you maximize the amount of times you can half burst, right? The benefit of gaining your boost back and your weapon ammo reloading being the most important thing about the mode means that the more you can actually enter extreme burst, not the more time you spend in it, is better. Yeah. And you can kind of use them like Roman cancels. You can actually cancel into extreme burst and you can then immediately perform an action. Well, we'll get over that. Actually, you can't, but we'll see. So we've gone over A, BR, B, melee, C, movement, right? Either boost dashing or jumping. D, switching your target. So those are your main buttons. So the next thing we'll talk about is how useful boosting is, boost dashing. Yeah. So as you might already know, boost dashing is basically like a Roman cancel. You can cancel into a boost dash from almost anything, right? So boost dash, right? You can actually cancel before a move comes out. I don't know. Well, for instance, you can cancel on whiff, yeah? So that's my melee. I can boost dash out of it, yeah? So for your suit, and for any suit with a projectile, the most fundamental bread and butter at range is BR. We refer to the A button as BR, the beam rifle. Beam rifle, beam rifle, beam rifle. In Japanese, this is referred to as Zunda, but it's not really important. But basically, triple BR is what I refer to in English. The triple BR is just a BR canceled into a boost dash, performed 3 times. Now, not only can you cancel, I actually carved out of it before it actually came out, but not only can you cancel immediately into a boost dash from almost any move, you can also cancel into any move from boost dash. So I can boost dash and BR immediately. Boost dash BR. Boost dash BR. Yeah. So, like a Roman cancel, basically, you can think of this as a Roman cancel that makes you move. Yeah, blah blah blah. So, one more time, you can cancel into it from anything, and you can cancel out of it from anything. Basically, after boost dashing, it puts you back at neutral. It puts you back in neutral. Yeah. So the basic idea of the BNB is A, CC, A, CC, A. So actually, if you want to practice that without using the lever, without using the stick, and you can just do it at neutral, you can do 5A, 5CC, 5A, 5CC, 5A. So it looks like this. Yep. It looks like BR, BR, BR. Now, if you use the lever, which most people do while doing this technique, you can actually basically evade. Yeah, it's a dash cancel. It's a dash cancel. It's a boost dash cancel. Yeah. So you can actually evade while doing this. So if someone's attacking me, I'm actually still moving in a direct line while evading. So if that person is firing in this kind of angle perpendicular to me, it's most likely that I'm actually evading things while I'm attacking. Similarly, you can do it while retreating, right? Yeah, and you don't have to worry too much about whether distance is related to comboing for things like BR. In general, things have a lot of hit stun in this game, so you don't have to worry too much. But notice that we're already getting into a management of meter, a management of weapon issue at this point, because now I only have 1, so I actually can't even do a BNB. Yeah, I'm already out, can't actually connect. Notice that it only knocks down after 2. Yeah, after 3. So your 3 triple shot is your main BNB. 2 shots, and they're still standing up. I'll just explain how the paration and damaging works in this game, because it's not that complicated. It's basically a BA, or BB. Every attack has its own paration value, and each person, when they get hit, accumulates certain paration value and damage. Damage is also scaled. Each attack has a different damage scaling rating. The difference is that unlike fighting games, it remembers your hit stun and damage paration values for more like after you've reached neutral. So for example, you can't really reset in the same sense as a fighting game. So if I do BR BR, wait, BR BR BR, that won't work. Watch what happens if I try and reset. So I'll do 2 BRs, wait, BR BR, oh, he already dropped. Yeah. So it remembers your paration, your hit stun and damage paration values for 3 seconds. 3 seconds. So I can do BR, BR, 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, BR, BR, BR. Yeah. So now it's forgot what we call the down value, is what we refer this to. The down value is what the paration, the hit stun paration is. The combo paration. And like BB, it kind of has like a fixed sense of where after a certain point nothing can combo and it automatically gets dropped. In this sense, it's the yellow value. After a certain amount of time, it's really hard to basically extend combos after a certain amount of paration. The next hit basically is a forced knockdown. that's not a problem. Force knockdowns are really good as they are in fighting games. So there's nothing wrong with not being able to extend your combos because of damage proration. Generally, basic combos that don't have too many hits actually do really efficient damage. So I'll go ahead and go over your other weapons. Your A plus B. So we already discussed your buttons, right? A, B, C, D. C is only for movement, D is for switching your cameras. A is your beam rifle, B is your melee. From these 4 buttons, we have additional combinations. And they are A plus B, I'll write them out in chat too. A plus B, A plus C, and B plus C. Now, your A plus B for most suits, including Infinite Justice, is kind of like a special projectile attack. And we refer to this as your sub-weapon, because your A button is referred to as your main weapon. Yeah, so you'll see Japanese notation sometimes refer to A as main. And it's like main. Oh, that was ugly. Main. Is another way of referring to it. Or AAA, or BR. So your sub is what we refer to A plus B as. Your sub shoots the lifter. The lifter is really cool. The lifter, while moving, actually comes back to you. Yeah. The lifter knocks down on all full hits. If it clips them, it can actually not combo and knock them down. But off of all the hits, it's a guaranteed knockdown. It's like EX Beast from Testament in the sense that if someone attacks you as you do your lifter, the lifter will still come out. Even if you're knocked down, the lifter comes out and hits people. So it's really good against melee for trades because it actually is kind of wide. Yeah, it's pretty wide. The hitbox isn't that big, but it's just D. I refer to it as D. No one really refers to the button switch as much notation. But the lifter comes out even if you're being hit, so it's a good way if you, in a last resort, to aim for a trade against melee, because the melee person will hit you. Your lifter takes a long time and has lots of multi-hit, so you actually recover before they do a combo off of it. So the lifter is not your preferred projectile attack, but it is useful. It cancels from a bunch of things. We'll go over the cancels after we go over all the moves. The most important thing about the lifter, that why a lot of people don't aim for it immediately, is you actually lose a bit of mobility. So you actually move a little bit slower, and your boosting is actually a little bit weaker. Let's see how much it is. 1. Well, actually, you use boost when you fire it from boosting. But let's see. Okay, yeah. So you actually use boost when you fire it. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. So 4 plus the fire as opposed to 6. Yeah, note that unlike beam rifle, it actually takes boost to fire. Yeah, the beam rifle doesn't. Yeah, so note that as I'm firing a beam rifle. Well, that's something I'll get into later. But if you're facing them, your beam rifle doesn't require boost to fire. Yeah, your lifter does, because you kind of go in the air. Generally in this game, anything that causes you to lift your feet from the ground requires boosts, usually. So that's A plus B. The next thing we'll go over is A plus C. A plus C, which is referred to as your special projectile, your special range attack, is your boomerang. Your boomerang is super, super awesome. It's the best boomerang in the game. The boomerang goes very far. Actually, almost to your max redlock range. Actually, I think it might actually be over here. Barely out. So even from here, this barely misses. From here, this should hit. Yeah. So your boomerang, like a real boomerang, goes through like shield slash and comes back. If you catch them at the optimal distance, it actually locks them for a long amount of time. It has a hitbox coming out and coming back. It's very wide, so it's really, really difficult to maneuver around this move unless they boost around it. Yeah, if they sidestep, it might miss, or they might still get hit. It follows you all the way back, and it has a hitbox the entire way back, just like shield slash. It is amazing. It is your main spacing tool and your best tool, one of the best tools in the game. As you might suspect, the boomerang indeed can interrupt opponents who are hitting you. So one of the most annoying tactics with the suit at high level is that you can throw your boomerang out, and even if they avoid it, if they hit you, the boomerang will come back and hit them. If they're in the right position. Now, it's actually kind of easy to avoid getting cut by this boomerang, but it's just an extra property that's quite good. And it comes back even when you're getting hit. So even when IJ gets hit, the boomerang comes back with a hitbox. So nothing disrupts the sting. Nothing stops the sting from coming back. It has 1 ammo, so you can't throw it while it's at 0. And as you see at the bottom right, after you throw it out, it's at 0. When it comes back, it starts reloading and goes back to 1 very quickly. So this is basically your main spacing tool for a good amount of reasons. Your third special attack is BC, which is a kick. Yeah, it's just like a melee. It's called the special melee. BC is always referred to as special melee. Yeah. So this is your neutral B. This is your BC. Now, when you hit people with BC, you do a flip kick. These guys are almost dead, so let me kill them. Okay, so you get a double kick. You get a double kick. Kick, kick. Now, if you press B more times, you basically get a mashable Rekka that continues the kicks up to 6 more hits. So if you just mash B, you get a bunch of kicks. This move is basically combo fodder. You don't really want to do this naked. It does good damage proration, but it doesn't have a good hitbox. So you should refrain from using this in neutral. Yeah. What you really want to do is combo into it. Your best basic B&B is really good, and all it is 5BB, special cancel into BC. So it looks like this. BB, flip kicks into mash follow-up. Yeah. No sidestep canceling, no boost dash canceling necessary. Yeah. So BB, oh sorry, that was naked BC. Your best B&B from melee is just BB. Oh my god, I'm awful. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000. BB and then BC all the way up. Yeah, that does like if I recall, it does like 260, something like that, 250-ish damage, maybe more even. I don't remember. It's really, really solid. Let me just check. Okay, oh, never mind. It does way less. I forgot. This suit actually doesn't do that much damage. 218. Oh wait a minute. No, 238. Okay, 238. 238. So it's actually quite efficient for being a boostless, meterless combo. Yeah. So that's your BC. Not much to think about there. Combos only, basically. That's it for your special moves. Yeah. Thanks for streaming this game, man. No problem, Dimension Skip. This game's awesome. So we'll go into your cancel trees. Your cancel trees are pretty amazing. Actually, your suit has amazing cancel Gatling trees. So from A, you can cancel this both into your lifter as well as your boomerang. So both your boomerang and your lifter is what I refer to them. You can arc and Sandy, but I won't explain that for a while because it's not that good. So both your lifter and your boomerang are cancelable from BR. This is quite amazing because this doesn't require much more boost than what's normal. So your lifter requires boost, but if you look at, oh, your boomerang does too. Oh, it lifts them up. Okay. So let's compare, right? If I do BR, look how I'm already almost at the halfway point, right? But if we do a similar 2-pronged attack by canceling, notice that we actually use much less boost, right? Right, and if we're doing it from standing, it's even more amazing. Right, this barely puts us at 85%. This barely puts us at 90% almost, yeah. So special cancels are the best way to have a boost efficient offense, right? As we've already discussed, boosting is your lifeblood, right? Boosting is how you dodge. You can't really avoid things without spending boost. So the more offense you can put out without spending boost, the more boost you can use for defense. Yeah. So these special trees are really amazing. The next thing you can do is, other than canceling from VR, right? We'll go over your boomerang. Your boomerang cancels into lifter. Oopsies. Try that again. Your boomerang cancels into lifter, which is amazing too. Anytime you can cancel into things is amazing. Ah, shit! I forgot one more attack you can do. It's really, really, really good too. It's your charge shot, is what we call it. You hold down A, you'll see that below your BR on the weapon on the bottom right, it charges up. And when it's at charge, it gets to max. When you release A, you get a charge shot, which is just a strong VR. Yeah, most charge shots in general are either weird special moves or strong versions of a projectile, some kind of strong projectile. Yeah, so it looks like that. Now, as you can see, your charge shot immediately knocks down. It's really good. It's one of the best charge shots in the game. It's really hard to demonstrate, but it has really good guidance. So even while someone is, for instance, if they're like falling like this, it'll follow them. It'll actually follow somebody who's like doing a motion. Like, for instance, if Unicorn was Infinite Justice and did charge shot and then did an evasive maneuver like this, it would actually hit me. Yeah. So it actually has really good guidance. It occurs quite well. It has decent speed. It actually has pretty good speed for a charge shot. And it counts like any other kind of attack. Now, it's done with holding down A, so you can't actually, while holding down A, perform Boomerang, for instance, or Lifter. Yeah. But you can special cancel it into your BR by using a trick that's referred to as second impact, which is that right before getting to 100% charge value, you let go, press BR at like 99%, and then start charging again. You can actually cancel your BR into charge shot. It's a advanced technique that's kind of not recommended until you really get used to the game, but know that it is an option. You can special cancel your BR into a charge shot. This is known as charge shot canceling, and it's I think possible with almost every single suit. I think maybe every suit. Yeah, it's called a charge shot cancel, or second impact, as the Japanese call it. Now, it's really nice. It's really good. Your charge shot cancel is actually really good. So you actually really want to be able to master this at intermediate level. Because if you hit them with the BR, you immediately get to combo into your charge shot. Your charge shot does good damage, knocks down. The best part about it also is it costs no ammo. Now, you actually have a really great assortment of weapons with really good ammo options. So it's really actually hard for you, as long as you're managing properly, to run out of ammo. But and one of the reasons is because of your charge shot. Your charge shot takes no ammo, so you can do it as many times as you want, as long as you can charge it up. Okay, so those are your main attacks: melee, beam rifle, lifter, boomerang, charge shot. You also have your special melee kick, and one more special attack, which is really cool that I'll go over. It's down B. Unlike a melee attack, your down B is a grappling hook. You don't have to worry about being able to mimic it, Jeff. The muscle memory to this game takes like a day to get used to. Oh, I'll explain linking the boost in a bit. But you have a grappling hook. Now, it has bad guidance. So even if they move a little bit, it'll miss, because the hitbox is really small. It's as small as it looks like, yeah. So, the grappling hook is not too useful. You generally want to stick to spacing with this move, or even lifter sometimes, because the grappling hook puts you really vulnerable, like, while you do it. You have to kind of stick there, because unlike these projectiles, where you can boost away and just, keep doing them, your grappling hook, if you boost out of it, it doesn't come out, right? It only comes out as long as you stay out. So, if you want to actually hit someone with the grappling hook, you gotta wait. Now, it's really great when you actually connect it. It has a good paration value. You can combo off of it. It's special cancel into kicks, which is probably the main way you want to combo into it. But can you cancel into anything else? I don't. Oh, you can. So it's actually special cancel from everything, I believe. Yes, it is. Okay. So on the pullback, you can actually special cancel it into anything. Yeah. So you actually have a myriad of options here. You can do something like this. Whoopsies. Well, that's okay too. You can do. Yeah, you can do something like that. You can do a 2B, BR, boomerang, lifter. Yeah, that's actually, that's a combo. That's a combo. Yeah, that's a combo. So, the point being, the retract on it gives you many options, yeah? You have tons of options you can do off the retract. So if you actually land it, you're in a really good position. However, landing it is kind of difficult. The hitbox, as I've already said, is very small, and you have to really leave yourself open. So you mainly have to use this move when you're confident it's gonna land. You know, unlike the boomerang, where it actually doesn't even matter if it hits, right? Because regardless if it hits or not, it actually clears a good amount of space, forces your opponents to move, it comes back to you, and it's free, right? But however, this grappling hook, you really have to stay still while you do it. The range, while looking good, you know, you actually have to wait a long time for it to come out at that range. So while it has good range, you have to sacrifice vulnerability for it. So it's generally very bad at being a defensive maneuver, unlike these other projectiles where you can actually dodge while doing it. You cannot cancel into grapple from BR. Yeah, you actually can't cancel into anything into grapple. I don't even think, maybe melee. Let me check melee. Yes, you can cancel melee, so you can do wombo combos. Yeah, you can do that kind of stuff. But generally, because of paration value, you only want to do it if it's trolling. Like, I mean, that's just like troll stuff. It does like shit damage. But you can troll with it. No, you can also cancel his AC and his lifter. Yeah, but you can pretty wombo combo with it. Yeah, so those are all of his offensive options. So what I'll do now, I'll go over your problem with boost dash. Let me take a drink of water. And let me read what you said earlier. I can't mimic, won't boost after my BR boost BR. You should practice it. First of all, when you're doing this, the most important thing when you're boost dashing, you want to practice is dimension kick. Yes, is letting go of C and being at neutral after your movement. So what I'm doing is 6cc, let go of C, let go of lever. 6cc, 5, let go. 6cc, 5, let go. So basically, want to let go of everything after you do one boost dash. You only want to be touching the lever when you're actually inputting it, because if you hold it down, you get this, which is bad. Similarly, if you hold down C, you get this, which is bad. Later, Jeff. So you should practice first. I recommend anyone who's learning BR Zunda, the triple BR, God save us, is practicing without the lever. Just doing ACC, ACC, A. Yeah? ACC, ACC, A. ACC, ACC, A. Like that. Once you're good at that, then it's good to practice doing something like always holding one direction. ACC, 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 A. Yeah? Now, actually, you can hold down the lever the whole time while you're doing this part, because while you don't want to have a held button, you're canceling it into boost dash the whole time, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's much easier without the lever, I know. So, like, I'm actually just holding down one direction the whole time, it also works. So I'm just holding down side the whole time. Just holding down side. The Japanese version of the game is the same, yeah. And once you can practice doing this from one angle, then you can practice like zigzag. Well, I'm actually out of ammo. But that's your basic main B&B, and you want to really practice being able to do that consistently. You can do that now, it's good. Now, you can imagine that, playing actual games and spamming is pretty bad, because you run out of boost, and then when you run out of ammo and boost, obviously, and once you actually hit them, you can't actually do anything. I'm out of ammo. Yeah, what do I do? Yeah, can I go over crossbow and Destiny? I can maybe do that for a bit. Maybe not now. After I go over this stuff. But so we've covered your offensive options. We covered boost dashing and its options, but it will take some time to really get used to how freely you can use the boost dash. But it's basically like a dash cancel in a fighting game. So anything. Melee, boost dash out. Fire, boost dash out. Boomerang, you can cancel out of it, lifter, yeah. avoiding attacks. Yeah. I'll talk about sidestepping now. Now, sidestepping is done just like in a fighting game. Left, left, right, right, down, down, forward, forward. There's no diagonals. Or is there? No, not really. No. If you sidestep diagonally, you get a leftward. It's okay. The muscle memory you'll get used to. It's actually pretty fast to pick up. It might feel difficult at first, but it's only because it's like a new like genre entirely. It's pretty easy to pick up, like compared to other games. So your sidestep, yeah, you can hold it down. Yeah. Now, sidestepping might not look very good compared to boost dashing in terms of movement, right? However, it has several advantages. The main one is it cuts guidance. So remember when I referred to your projectiles and how they have curving? If there is a projectile in mid-air traveling at you, and you sidestep, the guidance will immediately be cut on it, which means that I wish I could draw a picture, but the tracking stops as soon as you sidestep. So as soon as you sidestep, the attack will just become like a straight shot, which means you're basically guaranteed to dodge it, as long as it's not really big, as long as it doesn't have a huge hitbox. And even then, yeah. So sidesteps are amazing because they're basically like a sidestep in any other game. You completely can dodge any attack at you for the most part. You can side dash forward, back, left, right. It stops homing. So you really want to think. Yeah, sidesteps cut melee homing too. So this stuff, when you sidestep, they'll just like attack. They'll attack near you and just completely whiff. Yeah. Now sidestep is cancelable. So you can cancel this into A. You can cancel this into B. You can cancel this into AC. You can cancel this into lifter. It's basically just like a boost dash. Yeah. You can basically cancel in anything like boost dashing. Like boost dashing, it has a minimum it has a minimum repeat time interval. So I can't just boost dash twice. This is as fast as 2 successive boost dashes come out. Similarly 2 boost dashes come out, like that. Yeah. They're pretty fast, but not instant. It has a period where you can't do anything without sidestep, but it's pretty small. Now. You can do almost anything off of this, yeah, for the most part. So it's quite good. You can really think of this as like a sidestep in a fighting game, like like I don't know. You can think of this as like I guess like a smash sidestep or like anything of that sense where you kind of phase out, because you can basically avoid someone's attack and then punish them afterwards. So it's really quite like a reversal in the sense that you're not only because of the recovery and the cancelability, you're actually putting yourself in a very good position, right? Because you're sidestepping and attacking at the same time. Notice that when I'm doing this, like your BR really comes out quickly. So sidestepping is really quite amazing. At high level, you'll notice that a lot of people, rather than like boosting around at neutral when nothing is actually happening, they'll just stand there, and as soon as you attack, they'll sidestep and attack you. Yeah, it's actually a lot easier to avoid attacks with a sidestep than a boost dash, which is one of the main misconceptions of the game. Because people think because this moves faster or moves farther, that it's better for avoiding. In addition, detail I will later. In addition, the boost dashing has actually longer startup. It's hard to show, but sidestepping actually comes out faster, or at least the guidance portion of it basically comes out frame 0. Whereas the boost dashing does not cut guidance. So while you're moving in the beginning part of it, even though you've already started your movement, anything that's actually aiming to can actually clip you. Yeah. So if something like right on you and you boost dash, you can still get hit by it. If something's like right in front of your face, and you sidestep, you can actually avoid it still. Yeah. So it's actually much better for this kind of thing. Now it's much worse for any kind of positioning game, right? You move a lot farther or a lot less than the boosting, and it actually uses more boost when you sidestep. If you look at the boost bar, the sidestep uses about 20% of your bar for infinite justice. A single boost uses a little bit less, about like 15%. Yeah. So, hey, what's up, Twishy Bird? So it does use a little bit more boost, and doesn't put you as far. So in terms of avoiding successive barrages of attacks, maybe not so good because you don't get the positioning advantage. Yeah, you can't avoid stuff as easily, with something like this, but you're able to, get away easier, maybe hide behind a building, or put yourself at a better vector, right? Obviously, it's easier to avoid shots when you're dashing perpendicular to the angle of fire, rather than sidestepping where you're still kind of in your line of fire. You don't really want to boost like this away from someone. You'll still get hit, right? Twitchy Bird, I have not yet. So I have to send out the request and they'll be activated. So I'll let you know when I sent that out, but it'll probably be sent out today, probably. I don't know how long it's gonna take to actually get that activated, but probably like a couple days, hopefully. So that is what sidestepping does. All right, this is what we call like a normal sidestep. Now there's an extra sidestep called the rainbow step, and this is done as a cancel. Yes, Divider. Yes, Jeff. Sidesteps are what you want to do up close, and we'll show you an even better reason why. Because not only can you sidestep a neutral, you can sidestep cancel. Now, if I do a BR, I can't sidestep. I'm like mashing 6